Welcome to the show, by the way.
Oh, thank you, dude.
But because
Thank you.
this album is so you, I don't know what to call you. What do you want me to call you right now?
You can call me Aaron.
Aaron's all right?
Yeah, call me Aaron.
Because I think it's funny. Like I think the last record, I think I would have called you SonReal.
For sure. Yeah, this is like by far, obviously, like, you know, you already are kind of alluding to. It's my most, you know, personal work. It's my most vulnerable work. And
Even that last song, just take us through that last song, Thousand Highways.
yeah, Thousand Highways. It's a song I wrote for my wife. I got married last year, and I proposed to her in 2017 on her birthday on July 23rd. And Thousand Highways is all about all the nerves. Like even when I'm saying almost puked and like all that kind of stuff, because I was so nervous. I do things that make me nervous all the time as my job, but nothing is more nerve wracking than trying to, you know, propose to somebody and express that type of love for somebody. And you know, I wanted to write a song about it, and it's called Thousand Highways. And it's all about the moments leading up to understanding that I wanted her to be my wife and wanted to be with her forever. And yeah, I love my wife.
Did you play the song for her?
Yeah.
And she likes it?
She loved it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course yeah.
But who needs a ring, right? When you get married, you didn't even need to give her a ring, man. You could have just written her that song.
I didn't need to. You know what? Honestly, and for everybody out there proposing, the ring is really the smallest part, man.
Yeah.
The ring really is. I mean, the things I remember about, you know, proposing and the things that me and her, you know, look back on about that specific time had nothing to do with the ring. It was, you know, like where I did it, what I said, you know, whatever. Like I was so nervous I didn't even know what I was saying though, dude. I was just like, I love you. I want to be with you.
Yeah, and here you are, you know, kind of a gifted lyricist, like a great writer.
Oh, thanks.
And even the great writers among us, you know.
Oh man,
we get a loss for words in this moment.
Yeah, I had like all these things I was gonna say, and I just think I just like mumbled out frantically at her.
But you're talking about a lot of really personal stuff on this record, man. So like,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me saying so, like, you know, I know your father passed in 2016. What was his name?
Glenn Hoffman.
Glenn Hoffman.
Glenn Stephen Hoffman.
Glenn Stephen Hoffman. And I read an interview where you said, after my dad passed, I was like, I've got to say whatever the hell I've got to say. So this is the first time I've really been this vulnerable and this open on an album. How does that? I'm sorry for your loss, by the way.
Oh man, thank you, dude. I mean, it's you know, it's something that you never really, you know, forget or ever fully get over, but it does get easier. It's gotten a lot easier for me in the last couple of years, just coming to terms with his death, and also like just like understanding that, like, you know, it's a blessing even if you can. I know this sounds crazy, but it's a blessing if you're a parent and you actually do pass before. A lot of kids pass before their parents, you know what I mean? And like, you know, I was lucky to have him around as much as I did. And, you know, I've got my mom remarried, and the man that my mom remarried is very much a father to me. And, you know, I was lucky enough to, you know, kind of have two dads in my life.
But like when your dad died, though, like, do you think that changed you creatively? I know it seems like your dad dying is such a big thing, right? So I don't want to minimize it, but I bet it changed you as an artist too, right?
I didn't even play guitar before my dad died, really, man, to be honest. And like when my pops passed, I think something just spewed out of me, like something. It's hard to explain, but I just felt like I needed to say more. I needed to do more. At the start, I didn't even want to make music. I was over music. I was just like so kind of, you know, down and out about it and stuff. But once I got back to making music and I did My Friend and all that, I felt really compelled to write songs with meaning. And, you know, you'll notice every song on my new album is about something. Nothing's about just nothing or having fun or this or that. Every single like thing on the album is about a world concept and a world thing.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to figure out what that is. Like, I guess it's when your dad dies, you start. Because I know my dad died when I was in my mid-20s, right? So I kind of know what you're talking about here. I think there might be something when your father passes or when you experience a death in your life that, I don't know, you're less afraid to say what's on your mind. You realize that life is short.
Yes.
Because when you're a kid, life is short, but that's kind of abstract, right? Oh, yeah, I guess I'll die someday. People die someday. But then when it happens, right?
And you never think you're going to lose a parent when you're young. You never think that. I lost my dad when I was young. You lost your dad when you were young.
Yeah.
And, you know, you always think that you've got this picture in your mind that your mom is going to be old and you're going to be kind of older. And then, you know, she dies of old age like way later in life. And it's this, you know, sad thing, but not like you. Like when I got the news, I just got out of a Dave Chappelle show with my friend Richie. He's my DJ, and you know, write songs with him and everything. I got out of a Dave Chappelle show, and like my mom didn't know how to break it to me, and she just told me right away. She's like, "Your dad died," and I was just like,
So it was sudden, hey?
it was sudden. Yeah, I guess he had a heart attack. He had all sorts of mental health issues and
Mm-hmm.
things like that, and yeah, man, it's like nothing can prepare you for that. Like that moment, I'll never forget it. I like just fell to my knees. I couldn't even walk. Like I was just like, I was floored by it, and it was so bizarre. It was so weird. And then like, you're just down in the dumps. I see my friends. I just start crying. Like it's just like really like, yeah, it's really hard. It's really weird. But
But then that teaches you something, right? That you got
it
to.
taught me something. It taught me life's not forever. It taught me I wanted to, say more with my music. It taught me I want to inspire people, man. And since I wrote that song, My Friend, it made me want to do a whole album inspired by that kind of stuff, and it's inspired by Americana music and soul music and R&B music and hip hop music and all that kind of stuff. And I have fans all the time tell me, I lost my mom, and that music, that's what helped me get through it. Or I lost my dad, or I lost a sister, or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like that type of feeling and that type of interaction with my fans is what brought me to write the type of music. That's what I want. I want to make people feel however, like I want to make people feel deeply.
And you don't seem to care what genre you do it in, right? I mean,
No,
also because
man.
genres are, I think as the internet gets, I almost said as the internet gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
The internet's already pretty big.
Yeah.
But as streaming
It's getting bigger.
As the streaming gets bigger and bigger, I think genres matter less anyway, right?
I agree 100%. And I think it's just a time right now where people are just being creative. Like you look at, I can just literally just name artists like Childish Gambino, for instance. Like he'll do a song like "This Is America," and then next song he does a summertime joint, and it's just like those aren't even like not even in the same. They don't even go in the same. Whereas with me, I've got songs like "1,000 Highways," and then I've got songs like "Fearless," and in that world, and then I've got songs like "Dive Bar" that are a bit harder on the album, and "Heart" that are a little more hip hop, and "Back to You" and whatnot. And it's like I think everything's really cohesive, but it's really tough to say exactly what my genre is because I can do a lot of different things. I play guitar, I like singing. There's very little rapping on my album, but am I a rapper? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
So.
But it's funny because I was just going back to the idea of kind of being fearless, and you mentioned fearless there. But like when going back to the idea of being fearless, and your dad dying, and then all of a sudden you're not as afraid to say what's on your mind. You're not going to just write songs about having fun. I also feel like you're less concerned with like I'm going to write songs about having fun. I'm going to be a really great rapper.
Yeah.
You're just going like I just want to make stuff. All that stuff doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like that success stuff. I mean, obviously
So
still
right.
matters, but it doesn't really matter as much as it does about communicating, no matter however it comes out, right?
Yeah, man. Success is such a weird word. Like, I am technically more successful right now than I ever have been as far as streaming or whatever, people coming out to my shows or what I'm capable of doing. But the biggest thing that I've found for me in my life with success is just me on this, like, finding happiness in my wife, being a good son, being a good, husband. Like, I want to. Those are what make my music better. Like that's what makes my music, and that's what
Right.
makes me find success. I feel like they go hand in hand.
So on that track, can we talk about Voicemail?
Yeah, for sure, man.
I love that song.
Ah, thanks, dude.
Tell me what it's about.
It's about my family, and actually, I had the whole album done, and we had a meeting. It was just me, my manager Byron, and the guy that executive produced my whole album. His name's Trevor Muzzy. The guy's like a genius. He's incredible. We had a meeting, just us three, and we were just sitting in the room, and we listened to the whole album, and I didn't have voicemail recorded at the time, and it was actually Byron. He was like, I feel like we're missing one record, man. And I was like, what? And he's like, something about like, you were really kind of raised by females, and like your childhood and your family, and you're such a family-oriented person. I want to see that side of you on this album, and I think it kind of comes out sometimes here and there and stuff, but what if we went all the way there and you just like, it'd be cool if you did your storytelling vibe that you do in 1,000 Highways and Healing that's so open for interpretation and whatnot, but you do it in kind of rap form. And like, I'm not joking, they left and I sat in the room like not a word of a lie for 7 hours, and I just wrote, and I couldn't just spewing out of me. I remember I felt so many emotions writing those, and then I called my mom and I was like, yo, I just kept calling her and trying to get her to leave voicemails, and then Sheena and all that, and it just came together. But like, women have been such a huge part of my life. My dad worked out of town all the time. He was a surveyor. He'd go up north and work, and I spent a lot of time with my two sisters, my younger sister Katie and my older sister Amanda, and my mom Sue. She they you know, they helped just mold who I am, and they were always like, they're feisty. Like they both would just check me. Like if I doing something wrong or doing something very like ignorant, or if, you know, say even when I started doing music and I was, you know, 15 years old and I was saying crazy stuff on the records, like my sisters would check me and be like, you know, you shouldn't say that because that's not really you.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh. And like I used to, when I first started doing music, I'd get my sister to go sing the hook. Like they were my best friends, you know, and like, you know, and it was kind of like me and my sisters and my mom, and then my dad would come back from work or whatever, and it'd be a family thing again or whatever. But it was a lot of time with just me and my sisters and my mom.
And then you shout out your stepdad.
Yeah, man, he's like everything to me.
I've
He's
never heard a
father to me.
stepdad shout out on a record before.
Man, and you know what? It's really hard to do. It's a hard angle to attack because you're like, if you're going to do a song and then you got to be like, and this complicated situation with my stepdad, this is my stepdad. And then you got to say his name. Do you want to call him Pops? Like now I call him Pops all the time. And I just started calling him Pops, but he's really a dad to me. I mean, he's been so good to my mother and my sisters and my whole family, and we've got this whole extended family because he's got, you know, 4 kids as well that have families, and I've got nieces and nephews and all that I love dearly, like my family, just like blood, you know.
So you wanted to give him a shout out, and you're kind of talking about your family on that song.
Yeah, man, it's all about my family and my wife and my mom and my sisters, my stepdad and everything.
So are SonReal and Aaron 2 different people to you?
No, man, they're the exact same now more than ever. And they always have been, but like, man, it's hard to be honest. Like it's hard, like if you think it'd be easy, but it's like, you know, you try and write these songs and you end up veering off and doing things that aren't maybe as honest as you would like to be. But
what's hard about it? What's hard about being honest in music?
I think even for songs in this album, I'm going to be like all the way honest with you right now. When I did Voicemail, I had 2 producers in the room. I had Pops and Trevor, and I was recording it, and I didn't show them any of the lyrics before I did it, and they don't know any of that about me. Like they don't know that my parents used to fight all the time and smashing wine glasses on the ground and all that. And I was nervous saying it. It is hard. It was hard for me to do it. And then after I recorded it, they were just like, whoa. And I was like, whoa, like good whoa, or like, is that good or is it bad? Like I didn't know. Like artist, man, you're the most narcissistic person in the world, but you're also the most like self-crippling doubt. Like, you know, like I'm totally self-conscious as well. Like I'm very confident, but like also in the studio, you're expressing a brand new idea for the first time. You don't know if it's good or not yet. You just don't know. You're just speaking from your heart. And I think that's hard. It's harder than me just doing something that's fun and turn up that I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's kind of wavy. Oh, that's kind of wavy. It's like, no, this is like, some deep stuff.
So it doesn't feel like SonReal is the wavy, fun party guy.
He is. I mean, I like to have fun too. And
but that Aaron is the vulnerable guy who talks about these. Because that's how I was kind of going into this
that's
thing.
Cool.
You know,
I mean, I would say, yeah, maybe. I think it's all one. Like I like to have fun. I mean, you know, I like to have fun with my friends. I got a lot of funny friends, so I just try and like pick up on their jokes, and you know, I love having fun too and stuff. But I think it's kind of all melting into one thing.
But I also think it can mean more to an artist when they're vulnerable and people get it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say that like vulnerable music is better than fun party music, because they all, like you said, they all have their places, right?
Yeah.
But there's something about like watching someone sing lyrics back to you.
Yeah.
About something really important to you, right? Like that got to feel different.
It's bizarre. That's why this whole tour, I'm on a world tour right now. I think we've done like 17 dates now. And we just did the Opera House the other night in Toronto, and I brought out Jesse Reyes, I brought out Cardinal, brought out my homie Rich Kid that really helped me start up here in Toronto and stuff. And seeing people sing some of these songs that have been out for 5 weeks, like from front to back, crying, singing Voicemail, singing songs like Back to You, Heart, Fearless.
And like important songs to you, right?
Yeah, man. They're so like, it's just, it's unreal feeling, man. That's to me is like, like raw joy, just raw joy, man. That's how I feel.
It's like watching people sing your diary back to you.
Yeah, man. And it's just like, I don't know. There's something so nice about it. It's just like, you just like, you know, you can get to like, I rolled in here today and you probably were like, I got a good read of what this guy's going to be like, maybe. You know what I mean? Because I think I put it out there in my music. I think I put it out there that, you know, and with my fans, I go reply to comments every day, show love. My fans come up to me, they feel like they know me. After this body of work specifically. And I have touched on this type of stuff before. I have done records from the start of my career. I did a record called Try in 14, you know what I mean? I did, My Friend in 2000, we put that out in 2017, and songs like Problems and stuff definitely, they touched on this, but on this album, I just went all the way there. It feels good.
I'm glad it does. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
SonReal joined me here on Q.